What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Mystic Watch, or if you're brand new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Mystic. I am a Naruto Blazing YouTuber, and today I'm going to be doing a beginner's guide, and it's going to be a beginner's guide series on how to get into Naruto Blazing. Anniversary is right around the corner if you guys are watching the video around the time I made this. So we have the Japanese anniversary ongoing, and we have the global anniversary starting literally tomorrow. So if you guys are brand new looking to get into the game, this is the perfect opportunity to get in, and I'm going to be explaining how to properly, what to do in this game in a sense. So back when this game first started, no one knew what was going on, and because of that, you kind of had to get a feel for it yourself. So I've been playing this game since, since it first came out. So hopefully my knowledge will be able to help you guys out in getting a little bit of a head start when starting this game out. So, like I said, this video will be, I'm going to try to keep them roughly 10 minutes each, 10 to 15 minutes at most. I don't want to go too much in one video, so keep it simple because not everyone needs to know the same stuff. So today I will be going over re-rolling and kind of, how should you get your account started type of thing. So very basic stuff. So starting off, I'm going to make the distinction between the global version and the Japanese version because some of you, I'm going to make the assumption that not everyone knows what gacha games are, and this might be their first game, or this first time playing this type of game. So in these type of games, these gacha games where you summon units, there typically are two versions of the game. There's the Japanese version and the global version. Since these games originate in Japan, the game comes out there first and then it's adapted over in an English setting most of the time for the rest of the world to play. But just because it's in Japanese doesn't mean that it's inaccessible to us. And usually, since this game is created in Japanese, the Japanese version tends to be ahead in terms of its events that are released. And you'll see this if you guys are familiar with the Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle or One Piece Treasure Cruise. You guys will know that there's a pretty wide gap, several month gap between the two versions of the game. And people, just because of that, once you figure out what the buttons and everything say and do, people will tend to just play the Japanese version if they want that feeling of being ahead. Like just getting all the stuff fresh as it comes out. And this game is kind of different. The Japanese version is ahead, but it isn't ahead by much. So it's only ahead by 1 week, and the global version, it's just 1 week behind. So personal recommendation, I'd say just if you're going to start off fresh and you're used to playing the Japanese version of games, if you really want to, go ahead, but I just recommend playing the global version simply because it's only 1 week behind. You get that little notice in a sense where you know what's coming up, and on top of that, global has typically got better treatment than the Japanese version, which is kind of weird. That might sound weird coming from other games where the Japanese version gets better treatment, but here tradition has been the global version getting the better treatment. We've gotten, just sometimes we get more pearls, sometimes we get better banners in terms of how they're set up. So that's really it for the most part. Now, once you've decided on what game you want to play, if you guys are unfamiliar with how to obtain the Japanese version, very quickly, I'll explain that for Apple devices, you need a Japanese iTunes account. You gotta Google search, YouTube your way to figure out how to make that. It's not too difficult, but once you get that, it's simply going on the App Store, signing into that Japanese account, and then downloading the game. If you are on an Android device, it is a lot easier. A simple Google search for the app will get you it, but what you're going to want to do is you're going to search for this app first, Ku app. Here, let me see if I can right here, this app right here. Ku app will allow you to download all the Japanese games of, like any game. So if you guys are playing Dokkan Battle, I don't know why this keeps on popping up. Right here you can see I got Dokkan Battle, and then the Naruto Blazing, the Japanese version right here. So those are both downloaded from Ku app, and these are the original apps, as if you were on the Japanese App Store for, Google Play. So those are your two methods of getting the Japanese app. And just for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to be using the Japanese app, but my main account is on global. So what are you going to be, okay, you got the game, you played through the tutorial, now what, right? So once you play through the tutorial, you will, just a quick little heads up, you'll get a transfer code right after you pick your name, your transfer code and your ID. Be sure to keep that safe somewhere where you can access it from multiple devices, just because it is a one-time transfer code that cannot be changed regardless of, what you, sorry, regardless of moving it between devices or anything. The transfer code will stay the same. So if anyone for whatever reason gets their hands on it, your account is essentially gone. Or if you, and for that same reason, Bandai doesn't really issue, Bandai support for this game isn't too popular, because of the fact that they say, this is the one-time transfer code, so it's very difficult to get your hands on it if you lose it with your, if you lose your device or whatever. You won't, assume you will not be getting your transfer code back. So be sure to keep that safe. Now, the next thing I'm going to be going over is what to actually summon for. So if you guys are unfamiliar with the buttons, right now this is the home page, this is the story mode, this is the emergency missions, this is limit break trials, this is Phantom Castle, and this is Ninja Road. And don't worry about what each of them do as of yet. I'll be sure to go over those in its own videos. But for the most part, we're going to be going down here to the summons. Now, I'm going to be showing you guys the summons, and then I'm going to be showing you guys how to reroll in a sense. So you guys have, a method of getting these characters. So currently, we have the Sage Mode Hashirama banner going on, and this is known as a Blazing Fest banner. So this banner is an exclusive banner that comes back once a month and features very strong units that, they're very good units, and on top of that, they come with good rates. So this banner for the longest time has been the banner where people would say, don't summon anywhere else but this banner. And every time it returns, it usually brings a new unit, and it still contains all the previous units. So this banner has exclusive units, one being Hashirama, and Utakata being one, Gaara being one, and it actually has some more. But for the most part, you're going to be summoning on this banner if you want to reroll. Regardless of when you're watching the video, this banner, as long as a Blazing Fest banner is out, it is the perfect time to start playing the game. So the Blazing Fest banner features, in this case, Hashirama, but I'm going to go and show you guys all the different units that you can get. Actually, go from here. So there are currently, I believe, 13 Blazing Fest units, and they go in order. So if you go all the way to the bottom, click, click, click. So they're in order from when they were released. At least, just the pictures, for example. So Zabuza, Lee, Shikaku, Gaara, Itachi. These four, just as a heads up, 1, 2, Lee, and Zabuza, 4, all need awakening materials, their own specific awakening materials that comes from their own missions. Whenever the Blazing Fist banner is out, their missions are up. So just in case you manage to pull one of these and are unsure how to awaken them, these 4 are the only units in the game that require their own material to awaken. And then on top of that, everyone else just needs 2, they need 4 scrolls in total. They need 2 4-star scrolls and 2 3-star scrolls of their element. And the elements rotate daily, starting with, I believe, Sunday being heart. I'm going by Eastern time also. So Sunday being heart, then Monday being skill, then body, then wisdom, then bravery, I believe, in that order. I might mix up 1 or 2, but there's a schedule somewhere. Now, when you're summoning units, there are 2 units you want to aim for. There is this 1-till Naruto, which is extremely busted. And then on top of that, you have, right here, you have this Madara Uchiha, who is also busted. So these 2 units, if you can manage to get them both on a single reroll, you are set completely. This game, you can pretty much beat anything. Even if you manage to get 1, you're pretty well off. So if you get these 2, you're pretty good. That's the goal. The Hashirama isn't that amazing. He's good, but he's not that amazing. Everyone else is pretty good. The next best one will probably be this Utakata, followed by Tsunade, which is here. That's really it. So everyone else is pretty strong, but those that I just mentioned, that one till Naruto and Madara, are your goal. And just as a quick reminder, some people might be watching this after the anniversary units come out. Now I'm making this video now before the anniversary units are released, so I can't speak on behalf of them how strong they are. But we are getting a Sage of 6 Paths Naruto and a Rinnegan Sasuke for the most part, as of what we can tell from right now, in a week or two. I'd say 1 week's time for Japan and 2 weeks time for global. And this anniversary is a month-long type of thing. That's why I'm making this video now. So just because those characters aren't out, at least you guys have a head start on the game. So, okay, so now you're doing your summons, and how does that work? When you first open up the game, you will get, I'd say, between 30 and 40 pearls. If you get 40 pearls, I recommend just going in and doing a 40 pearl summon right here. And, you know, it should be as simple as that. On top of that, I actually do recommend just saving until those two characters that I just said come out, the Naruto and the Sasuke. You know, you should just save your pearls and log in every day. Try to do as much as you can and then pull over there. But you know, everyone, you know, some people don't care too much about that. Maybe they want this Hashirama because it's his favorite character, so on. But for the most part, you're going to pull. If you have your own specific characters that you want, you know, go for those. But if you're just looking to get a good start in the game, the units that I listed before are perfectly fine. And then aside from that, just a quick heads up when you guys are pulling. If you're not familiar with how rates works, there are 3 different rarities in this game. Well, it's 6 different rarities, right? But 3 that you can actually pull for. So you can pull a 3-star unit, a 4-star unit, or a 5-star unit. But the rarities go from 1 to 6 stars. You can only obtain like 1 and 2 stars from story mode, and you can also get 3 stars from there as well. But the highest rarity being a 6-star in this game, you can summon a 5-star, which awakens to 6-star. But this game has a little catch. You know, the rates might seem pretty good compared to what you've seen. 15% over here is pretty high, but that's simply because you can get an awakened 4-star as a summon as well. So not every summon that you do is necessarily not every gold ticket that you get is going to be a base 5-star that can awaken into a 6-star. So we like to call them traps or whatever, but no, it's the one annoying thing. Well, there's a couple of annoying things, but for the most part, that is one of the only annoying things about this game and summoning. So that's just one thing I like to point out. And then the featured units are always 6-star units. As you can see here, there were 3 featured units in this banner. You had Gaara, Utakata, and Hashirama. So these guys each have a 1% rate, and for the most part, almost all units that are ever in a banner have a 1% rate, which is pretty high on its own. It might not seem like it if you guys are new to the game, but 1% chance of getting a unit is pretty good. And then, so you have a 3% chance of pulling a banner card, and you have a 12% chance of pulling any other 5-star in the game, whether it's awakened or not. So those are your rates. So it might take you a couple of tries to get what you want, but at the current point in time, there's no automatic rerollers or anything like that. You have to do it manually, but you can speed up the process just slightly. So as long, like, this part only allows you to skip the downloading, but you know, any time saved is good time. So, you know, time is money, you know. So if you guys are using Nox emulator, which I am using to play from my computer, so this is the method on how to reroll through Nox emulator or just an Android in general. If you guys want a link to the emulator, I'll leave it down below. But you know, once you get to the emulator, this file explorer will be here. So it's pretty straightforward. You open up the file explorer, and actually the first thing you're going to go do is above on the top bar of Nox emulator, you can't see it from here, you're going to want to go into the settings, the system settings, go to general settings and hit root startup, and you want to hit that as enable. It should be disabled by default. You're going to save settings, and it'll most likely ask you to restart the emulator. So if you're on another Android device, if you don't know how to root, I don't really recommend it. If you want to root and you know, you're familiar with it, go ahead, but otherwise I recommend using the emulator to do anything rooted. You're going to open up the sidebar, scroll down, make sure root explorer is enabled, And on top of that, I have show hidden files just in case. But you're going to scroll up. You're going to go to internal storage. And what you're going to do is you're going to hit this / that is above the text that says 3.5 gigabytes. As you can see, the / I just have it highlighted just a little bit. So that button you're going to hit there. It's going to bring you back to the main menu. And by default, your menu should not look like this. To change it, the layout like this, I went into the 3 dots in the top right corner, hit view, and hit on small list. And that's how I got it to look like this. It's just easier for organization purposes to get through for me. You know, set it up however you want. You're going to go into data. You're going to go into data again. And like I said, there are 2 versions of the game. So this is where all the games are stored, their information. So if you're looking right over here, this one that I have checked off is the North America or the global version of the game. So for our purposes, I'm just going to be using the Japanese version. But if you guys are using the global version, the same steps apply that I'm about to show you. So we cancel that out. We scroll all the way down to the bottom. This one right here, last one at the bottom, is the Japanese version of the game. So we're going to simply enter the folder. And you see this bottom folder right here that says shared prefs. We're going to delete that folder. And that is it. That's all it takes to, to do this reroll method. What you're going to do is you're going to close out. You're going to make sure you close out of the app when you delete it. So I'm not going to do it just because it's quite obnoxious. But you're going to close out of the app. And when you open it back up, it should ask you to put in a new name for a new account. And you just simply skip the whole downloading process of the game. Saved you some time. So that's really it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to stick around. Subscribe if you guys want to see any more future videos. I do Naruto Blazing almost every day, as much in my ability as I can to make as many videos, but I try to keep content always going. If you guys want to stick around for more guides, be sure to leave a like, comment down below what you want to see, and I'm going to try to be putting a guide every day or every other day until I get all the things that I need to say out of the way. So once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.